Yeah, I'm just trying, there we go. Looking for the green mark on the audio there. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Knox County Board January 2025 meeting. The date is January 29th, 2025. And the time is 5:31 p.m. Call the meeting to order at the Galesburg City Hall Council Chambers. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Robertson. Pugh.
Here.
Theory.
Here.
Kramer.
Here.
Sandoval.
Here.
Nachi. J. Frederick.
Here.
Davidson.
Here.
Hawkinson.
Here.
Boone.
Here.
Weiss. Here. Bondi. Cohen. Here. Olinger.
Here.
And Boone. I'm sorry, Frederick. Good grief, I did it again, Patty. I'm sorry. And B. Frederick.
Here.
Good grief. 13 members present, Mr. Chair.
All right, I declare a quorum. I'll take a motion to enter closed session for personnel, collective negotiations, security procedures, property pending litigation, 5 ILCS 122C 1, 2, 3, 8, and 11, please. A motion, is there a second? A second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Robertson.
Yes.
Pugh.
Yes.
Theory. Kramer.
Yes.
Sandoval.
Yes.
J. Frederick.
Yes.
Davidson.
Yes.
Hawkinson.
Yes.
Boone.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Cohen.
Yes.
Olinger.
Yes.
And B. Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair. We are closed.
All right, we will adjourn to the not Scott Erickson conference room next door here.
Sorry.
Good.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming to the Knox County Board's January of 2025 meeting, Galesburg City Hall Council Chambers, January 29th, 2025. The time is 6:02 p.m. Call the meeting to order. If the clerk would call the roll, please.
Robertson,
Here.
Pugh,
Here.
Theory,
Here.
Kramer. Here. Sandoval. Here. Nachi. J. Frederick.
Here.
Davidson. She's in the hallway still, isn't she? Hawkinson. Here. Boone.
Here.
Weiss. Here. Bondi. Cullen. Here. Bollinger.
Here.
And Frederick.
Here.
All right, B. Frederick. 11 members present, Mr. Chair. We have a quorum. Pam's not here. She couldn't count. 5, 6, 7,
All right,
8,
I
9,
declare
10.
a quorum. A proclamation, Mr. Clerk.
Here, the Knox County Board is in session pursuant to adjournment. The Honorable Chair Jared Hawkinson presiding.
Thank you, sir. If we can all stand, remove your hats for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. If you could remain standing for a moment of silence, please give those that need our thoughts and love and our prayers as we start this 2025 year. Thank you, everyone. Any additions to the agenda for discussion only? Seeing none, we'll move to the public comment. Did anybody not get their name on the public comment register at the door? All right. Just a quick housekeeping note. I've been wanting one of these for quite a while. It just makes it easier for, I think, for the person that's up public speaking. You know, it's already hard enough to fit a lot of stuff into 3 minutes. This just helps them know exactly where they're at if they need to, you know, shorten it up to get what they want said, or if they can, you know, have a little bit more time. But yep, it'll beep, and when it gets down to 1 minute, it starts turning red, and you'll see it.
It's 0, it shocks the podium.
Yeah. So Ken Springer is our first one to try it out.
You'll be getting soft.
Thanks, Ken.
All right. Thank you very much. Just to give my monthly reports, we're very excited to announce the very first project that's going to land in Galesburg Business Park. On January 10th, KCAP and the city of Galesburg announced that our efforts to secure federal funding in order to land a large intermodal ag project in Galesburg Business Park were successful. The city of Galesburg has been awarded $25 million in funding from the US DOT RAISE grant program to support the installation of rail track and switching into the property formerly known as Logistics Park, now called Galesburg Business Park. This grant is part of a larger $54 million project. We'll see the first construction happen in the park. The city began seeking funds for this project back in 2022. The DeLong Company will construct an intermodal agricultural facility on the site, which will occupy approximately 100 acres of the 329-acre city-owned site. The DeLong Company is a sixth-generation family-owned business that's headquartered in Clinton, Wisconsin. The company operates 37 locations around the U.S. This project is going to have a significant impact on the region's ag community by opening a new export pathway for commodities to Asia. The way the project's going to function, locally grown commodities will be containerized on the site and then shipped west via BNSF rail to the West Coast ports for export. This overland rail shipping route reduces cargo transit by approximately 4,000 miles compared to using the Mississippi River, Port of New Orleans, and Panama Canal pathway. Anyway, this is a big project for KCAP. We're very excited to be able to report on this. This announcement comes on the heels of the city's recent Thrushwood Farms expansion announcement for the former Maytag facility. Combined, these two projects represent over $100 million in new capital investment in the Knox County area. That was the big thing for tonight, so thank you very much.
Come on, Ken, you got 1 minute and 10 seconds before you use that. We want to see you get zapped.
Maybe next month.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Good work. All right. Consent agenda. Take a motion to approve the minutes of the board meeting of December 29th, 2024 and December 2nd, 2024 organizational meeting, as well as the sales tax and various taxes for the month of October 2024 in the amounts of $179,503.19 and $45,958.13 and public safety tax in the amount of $270,817.72. I'll take a motion, please. Is there a second? A motion, second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Righty, Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Motion passes. Item number 3 is a presentation from the Galesburg Public Transportation, which is part of the city of Galesburg. Got Craig Boynton. He is the grand poobah at the GPT. Was it last week or 2 weeks? Yeah, last 2 weeks ago, we had a brief meeting out at the Public Transportation Building where they had some folks come in and give a presentation on where we are at, or where the GPT is at in the very infant stages right now of rural transportation outside the city of Galesburg. And I thought that was significant enough that I asked Mr. Boynton to come and provide some information. There was a handout that came out to all the board members. This handout will go on the county's webpage, and Craig will hit on that as well. So if those in the public want to fill this out, I encourage the board members to fill out the survey. And these surveys go back to Mr. Boynton, not to Mr. Gugliotta, as I promised it would go to, or myself or Mr. Erickson. It goes to Craig. But, press the button and have at it.
There we go. Sorry. Thank you for having me. As I said, for those of you that do not know me, my name is Craig Boynton. I am the transit manager for Galesburg Public Transportation under the city of Galesburg. We recently completed a transit study with Nelson Nygaard, which was completed in December, and that was to look at the capacity for our transportation in Knox County. Now that portion of the study has been completed, which was at the direction of the Illinois Department of Transportation, we have now moved into the process of a primary process, as they call it, for transportation. And this is in conjunction with RTAC, which is the Rural Transportation Advisory Committee. And they're out of Macomb. So we are working with them to see what our capacity is for serving those folks that are out in the county. For many of you that have used our transportation or know about our transportation system, in the last fiscal year, we provided approximately 120,000 rides between our fixed route system and the paratransit system. Our paratransit system is roughly at about 15 to 16,000 rides currently. And as we move out into the county, that's going to be a population of about 20,000 more people than what's in Galesburg. So it's that growth potential is there. And we know there's a need just based on the calls that we receive already. So the survey that is going out right now is for agencies, and it's also for people that you might have out in the county in your district that you know of that have transportation issues for finding rides. So if you know of organizations out in your area that we may not know of, it would be great if you could contact me and let me know, and I'll get with those organizations so that we can get them to complete the survey and get a better handle of where we will move forward. As Jared had indicated, this is in the infancy stages, so I don't look for this to happen like, it's not like a switch where we're going to turn it on right away and going to have transportation out in the county. We have to make sure that we have the capacity to serve those individuals that are out there by staffing and also having vehicles that are in good shape for us. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Just a note from when we had our discussion at this last meeting, there is significant need, as we've all known from the last, Pam, when we talked about it 5 years ago, initially, roughly. There is a definite need, and this is the first step. You know, they have to know where the need's at. We all know the need's there, but we just can't expect GPT to partner and just go everywhere in the county. You know, there's gonna be, you know, specific locations that are gonna get served first based on the response. Like you said, there's gonna be a need for funding to secure equipment, you know, the buses, the paratransit vehicles, vans, whatever it may be. I mean, this is the first positive step for rural transportation. And I encourage everybody to, like I said, complete the survey. If you're part of civic groups, you know, Lions Club, the Rotary, whatever, take it to them too and pass it out. Pass it out to whatever group you belong to, whether it's in the city or in the county. Data is gold.
Yep.
When it comes to stuff like this.
I might add, if you have any questions that would come up, please feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to talk to you about it.
Right, we'll start with questions. Member Davidson?
Hi,
Hi.
we've talked about it briefly. There used to be allocated some money to the county, and it was sat there for years. I wondered if it's still there for we can help with getting vehicles and different things like that. And would lobbying our elected officials, like our legislators, to see how we can do it? Because I know Springfield, they have an outstanding, they call it countywide, Saginaw countywide, and they started small, like everything small at fall. You have to find out where the need is. But is there any way, I guess it's to you, Chair, that we can find out if that money's, because it was like a couple million that is sitting out there?
Yeah, I mean, we can reach out to all of our legislative officials, you know, the senators and representatives and see if there's funding that they know of.
No, we had 5 years ago, we had that.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any that is still there waiting for the county to use. It could be stashed away somewhere that nobody knows, but I would hope that that the folks that are, you know, I forget what their name, the Nelson Nygaard, the firm that's been hired to do a lot of this work, that they may have found funding avenues, but definitely we will, you know, use all the resources we can get. Member Cohen?
I believe that it was said earlier, the agency survey is on the city website. Is there any issue if we put it on our website, or is it already there?
No, it's going to be put on our website.
Perfect.
Yep, I've got the digital version of this already, and we'll put it on there with some instructions that, you know, it goes to Mr. Boynton there. But yeah. And it's also going to be on the city's Facebook page,
On the transportation.
on the
Facebook page.
transportation Facebook page. Okay. Do you have a question? Okay. Member Boone?
I did. I just want to know the time frame that they need to return these surveys by. And if we
Question. I have that on
can,
my
we can
list.
copy them.
We would like to have them in by the end of February. That should give us a pretty good handle on the next step. They're trying to push us through. There are a total of 4 counties in Illinois that they're working with to get the countywide transportation, because I should say there are only 4 counties left in Illinois that do not offer countywide transportation at this point. So they're working with all of us to move that towards that goal.
Any other questions or comments? I just thanks for taking time to come and
Yeah.
kind of give an update and provide the survey and answer any questions that somebody might have for the rural transportation. But like we all said in that meeting, it's, you know, it could potentially grow to be a significant, you know, piece of public transportation in the county.
We're excited and terrified at the same time.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Well, it's a stone that's not been turned over yet, so you don't know what's on that other side. So,
Right.
but I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is item 4. I'll take a motion to approve appointments to the Orpheum Board of Directors of Greg Norris. This is a new appointment.
Second.
Motion and a second by Jay Frederick. All right, this is a new appointment from Mr. Norris for the Orpheum Board of Directors. The information is in the packet for that appointment and this resume. Any questions on that? Call the roll, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Hollinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
And thank you. Motion passes. Item 5, I'll take a motion to approve resolution declaring emergency for the nursing home domestic hot water. Is there a second? Okay, motion and second on the floor. The resolution's in the packets on the, is sent out on Friday when the packet was made available. Just some quick headlines on that. Let me get to my notes here so I can read everything correctly. That's not the one I want. Just a moment, please. Okay. So at the nursing home, January 6th, the nursing home administrator notified the committee chair and as well as myself that the domestic hot water system had failed and needed some emergency attention. We contacted our vendor for repairs, and the repair was completed the next day because they found the control unit that had failed, and that was overnighted and completed the next day. What, about 2 weeks later, Jody, we got notified not last Friday, but last Monday morning, I believe it was, that the domestic hot water system had failed again. And this failure has resulted in fluctuating water temperatures with some areas of the building experiencing insufficient hot water, raising concerns about Legionnaire's disease, as well as scalding temperatures that could potentially burn residents and the staff. It was varying from temperature from low to the high end, which could not be maintained. At that point, after some discussion with the committee chair, the vice chair, myself, and the nursing home administrator, because this poses an immediate risk to the residents, it was determined to move forward with having the vendor move forward with 2 of the 4 domestic hot water system replacements. If you recall, the performance contracting that was approved back in October, that called for the replacement of 4 of the domestic hot water system heaters in the building. Currently, with the 2 that were moved forward for the emergency replacement, that will take care of the initial problem. However, we're still going to move forward we're going to need to move forward when we get the bids and everything back for the remaining 2 performance contracting portion of the domestic hot water system. The reason there's 4 is you've got 2 that are active and the other 2 are the backups. In order to supply properly maintained temperatured water throughout the whole facility. And I believe even though it was there was no substantial issue, you still had to report this to IDPH because there was a failure of domestic hot water. As to my knowledge, there's not been any injury from it. There's not been any redness that requires a report at this point. However, if we would wait, that's just an option that I'm not willing to chance on burning our residents or the other, having low temperatures. So with that, the resolution is in your packet for moving forward with the deeming the replacement as a emergency replacement of the two domestic hot water system at the nursing home. Are there any questions? For Davidson.
Do they have a cost
The
tied to it?
Yeah, the quote right now is $391,037. That's the scope for the work. The advantage is right now that portion of that bill will not be billed to the county until the performance contracting work is complete. So it'll be lumped in with all of the performance contracting work when it comes time. So it's not like we have to pay when they complete the work this week. It's not like we're going to be on the hook right away for that amount. So that amount will still be in the request for financing when we get all those numbers back. And it'll just come off that bottom line from the financing. All. Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Hugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
J. Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, B. Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Motion passes. I'll take a motion to approve item 6, resolution amending county board rules. Is there a second? Motion and second on the floor. The resolution is in the board packet as we discussed last month. Requested by member Davidson to add a section for closing remarks by board members. This would be a modification to the board rules under Article 4, Section 1 AM, under the announcements and miscellaneous, adding Section 3, closing remarks by the board members. Are there any questions on that? Call the roll, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Hugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
No.
Sandoval. No. J. Frederick,
No.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
No.
Boone,
No.
Weiss,
No.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger,
No.
and B. Frederick.
No.
5 ayes, 8 nays, motion fails.
Thank you, clerk. I'll take item 7. I'll take a motion to approve a memorandum of understanding with the sheriff and the FOP sergeant and lieutenants union.
Second.
In the packet, this is an oversight from the negotiations that we just had back in November. This modifies the contract for the entire bargaining unit, adds section 16.11, which is the line of duty death benefit. The wording was incorrect. This just brings it in line to match the other bargaining units in the sheriff's department, the patrol and the corrections for the end line of duty death. Any questions on that? Please call the roll.
Robertson,
Oh, sorry. I said yes.
sorry. Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
J. Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, B. Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, motion passes. I'll take a motion to approve item 8, memorandum of understanding with the sheriff and the FOP patrol union.
Second.
Motion and a second. All right, the memorandum of understanding is in the packet. The one that's in the packet is not signed. However, I do have the signed version from the FOP and the sheriff. This, last year, as you can recall, we did a MOU with the patrol unit to activate the 12-hour patrol days, the patrol hour shifts. That was for 1 year. And this adds it back into the current contract for the life of the current contract and amends the holidays to mirror the use it or lose it clause that's in every other contract, as well as updates the rotation for the 12-hour shifts. And that this applies to the entire patrol unit. Any questions on that? Please call the roll.
Robertson,
Yes.
Hugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Dave Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Bloom,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Motion passes. I'll take a motion to approve item 9, approve creation of a county planning commission. This will be an agriculture area planning commission.
Second.
Well, I'm about to confuse you because I'm still confused on this one. 1992, there was a request by a parcel owner in Knox County to participate in what's called an agricultural area. It's not doesn't have anything to do with zoning, has everything to do with the Illinois Department of Agriculture and I believe the federal side that funds the Illinois Department of Agriculture. Basically, I think it's makes it a protected parcel. And on Friday, we received a petition to remove I believe it's 4 parcels from this agriculture area. And under the statute, which is, in my opinion, poorly written, because if you look at the statute, 505 ILCS, oh goodness, where's my page 1? Well, 505 ILCS 5/3 that covers the agriculture area. To withdraw from that area, it kind of contradicts itself in 2 different sections. One section says that has to be handled by the county board by appointing or referring to a county commission, a county agriculture area commission, which we do not have, or a regional planning commission, which we also do not have, that would cover this. I solicited Ken's help because he's got a lot of hands in different areas of the region. And that doesn't cover like WIRC, UCCI, that doesn't count. So I reached out to some other areas, some other board chairs, Peoria County, Ford County, McLean County. The only one that has a agriculture area commission is Peoria County, and they have never used it. And it kind of puts us in a time, there's a time limit that you have to take action as a county board. So what I'm looking for this evening, in order to initiate, what I see right now is to initiate a county agriculture area commission, AKA a planning commission, that by statute has to consist of 2 Republican farmers, full-time farmers, and 2 Democrat full-time farmers, and 1 county board member. I don't have any names yet, because I just was going through the statute and scratching my head a lot. But I'm looking for authorization from the board to solicit and appoint 2 Republican farmers and 2 Democrat farmers, and I would get with, I'll take any names that get thrown at me. There's a lot of farmers in the county that may know, who could serve on this. Even the petitioners may know 2 Republican farmers and 2 Democrat farmers that would be willing to serve on this commission. So I'm looking for a board member to serve on this commission. Number 3, you're it. Tag. You raised your hand. You have a question? Okay, go ahead.
You don't want me doing that. Is there any, do they have to, any requirements of that board member that you would be looking for?
The commission, once it's comprised, they have to, the petitioners did most of the legwork. They have to have adjoining parcels of the requested withdrawal, sign the petition. I think that's part of the package. Am I correct? You may know, come on up. You have a lot of, it's not zoning. You've been kind of the intermediate.
They didn't notify well, they've talked to some of the neighbors.
Yeah.
It's a family of multitude. It's the same family that owns a bunch of ground that put this together. We have been assisting them in what do they have to do, because this was found out, the generation now with most of the ground, it wasn't even aware of it. And so the older generation had kind of forgot about it too. But they have done the legwork. We have assisted in doing the legwork for them to get the petitions together based on what the statute require. And then I've tried to provide to the board what these, and I can't say anything about legislature and how they write statute, but so basically part of this steps will be of the commission to publish the petitions for the public to know, and then to have hearings to address the requests, and then within a certain time frame, give your response. And back in 92, they did have to create a commission for a time for this to be enacted. So at one point they had it, used it while they needed it, and then probably dissolved it because it was done. So it's just getting another one back together and helping them pull out these parcels.
Right. Part of the requirements is you have to have the neighboring parcels made aware. You have to have it published in a local newspaper if available. If there's not one available, it has to be published, or it has to be posted in 5 conspicuous spots within relative distance of the parcel that's affected. And you have to have a public hearing within 90 days of receipt of the petition for withdrawal. And once all that occurs, then this agriculture area commission takes all of that detail and they make sure that everything, all the T's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, and then they report back to the county board, and we approve the resolution, or we consider the resolution for approval to approve that removal or that withdrawal of that parcel or parcels.
Correct. And then there will be, your resolution would be an addendum to the original one, which I had provided copies, that will have some verbiage that will say the addendum now excludes these legals, because everything is all based on legal descriptions rather than their parcel numbers. But we do have those for you to put in that, so.
Right, and I will say that it was approved by Mr. Richard Allen. He was the chairperson at the time. So, and that was in July 15th of 1992, according to the resolution. So what I'm looking for tonight is, I'm sorry, go ahead. Yes, sorry.
Why are we going all this trouble? What's the reasoning behind having the parcels removed?
It has to do with the ability for revenue for the landowners, type of revenue
Use.
stream under an agriculture area. they're restricted to what type of revenue they can bring in. If they're not part of a restricted agriculture area, there's
We can do.
alternate revenues that they could utilize on those parcels. So.
Good answer. Good.
Since it's coming out of my committee, I'll go ahead and take the lead on it then, because I already kind of know the background and I've worked with Sony a little bit on it, so.
Okay. So what I'm looking for is kind of a, we usually don't do it this route, but because it's a time frame, I would like to get approval to appoint 2 Republican farmers and 2 Democrat farmers. Once names are brought forward, I would share that with, I would make phone calls to every board member as well, making that notification. Just because it is a time frame, we still have to come back in 90 days or less to take action on this. So that's all I'm looking for right now, which would form that commission. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
All right. Robertson,
Yes.
Hugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval.
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Abstain.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
12 ayes, no nays, 1 abstention, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Motion passes. That is all I have. We'll move on to the Committee on the Ways and Means, Vice Chair Frederick, and subsequent action items.
Alrighty, January and February are honeymoon months, but we don't have much going on, so it's pretty slow for us, which is good because it doesn't take long to ramp up. So I'll just move on to item 11 here. Because in our packet, this is pretty much what we talked about this meeting. There wasn't much other discussion. So item 11, I'll put this in form of motion. Approve resolution of, says deeds, but I think it's deed of conveyance, because we only have 1 this month. Or last month, I think we had 48 or 47. We had 58 last month. So this month we have 1. Second, please. Any discussion on this? All right. Call roll then, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Olinger,
Yes.
B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Alrighty, item 12, I'll put this for a motion. Approve polling place location change. Second, please. Alrighty, what this is in Abington. I'll let Scott talk about it after I do here, if he has anything. We have several polling places down in the city of Abington. It's being very confusing, but people's going to the wrong place and then getting frustrated. So Scott has found an avenue to combine some of these locations, so we don't have such confusion of constituents going to the wrong place and then maybe not even going to the right place to get voting. It's been quite the confusion down there. So Scott, you want to add to that?
Yes, with the location that we've chosen is the new community center there in Abington, right across from the high school. Used to be a former nursing home. There's a local church that's taken over the facility, but they've got a separate group that handles the operations of the community center. They're trying to get that off the ground to get more awareness for that. They reached out to us along with some of the township members from Cedar Township. We've looked at the facility. It's got plenty of room. We're proposing doing something what we do similar to in the city of Knoxville. We call it the Super Knox Precinct, where all 4 city precincts in Knoxville vote at the high school in their gymnasium. We'd do a super Cedar with this one, which would be basically bring the Cedars 1, 2, and 4 that are inside the city limits, would bring those voting into this location. Cedar 3, which is Lake Bracken, would not move with this proposal. It would stay at its location. So we'd be moving 3 precincts into 1 super precinct. Gives us a lot easier access for those voters instead of them showing up at one of the polling locations and being directed to another place across town. And we're not sure if they actually follow through or if they get just frustrated and not vote. This will give them one-stop shop. Or if they're in the wrong spot, they just move to 2 tables down and they'll be able to get to their same spot. It helps with election judges too. We're able to have their teams in there. And if one judge has a question or concern, they now have 15 people to go to ask questions instead of just the 4 other ones that they would be going to. So it's a plus, it's a win-win. And I think it'll be very beneficial for the community, and I'd appreciate the positive support for this. Any questions?
I just had a comment, and during the meeting, one of my concerns was, what did the constituents think about the change? And if they had been asked, and based upon our conversation, they had not, right?
That is correct. Yeah, we've spoken to a few constituents. There's a few people that know that we're considering this. We've been talking about this for about a year, or possibly even longer. So the word is out there as the township people are talking, and different things, it gets them involved. So they've brought questions up. Hey, when are we moving? We were gonna get to move. But there's no formal notification yet. What we will do is, if it's approved tonight, we'll notify the voters, not only on our press release operations, but we'll also send postcards to all those voters that be affected, notifying them of where their new polling location will be at. We'll put signs up at the old polling location saying, hey, this is no longer a spot. Here's where you go to now. We'll get out on the press. We'll do some interviews and things too to try to get the public awareness out so that they know where the new location's at.
And you mentioned another area, is it Abingdon that you did this?
There's 4 precincts in the Cedar Township. 3 of them are affected within the city. Cedar 3 is actually the Lake Bracken area itself. So we would not be moving.
The reason I was asking that is we also talked about another community that you did this at, and they were okay with it. It went well,
Yes.
and that was.
That was the Knoxville ones, the city of Knoxville.
Okay.
We do that currently. We've been doing that for years now at the city of Knoxville. They love it.
Yeah.
It
And
also
I brought that up just to say, based upon that experience, you felt this is a good.
Yes,
move,
absolutely.
or
Yes,
is
I think I'm not concerned about it having an adverse effect at all on the voting. It should encourage that help as well.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate the questions. Thank you.
Question over here, Member Davidson.
How long were they at those areas before? Did they change during the last census?
We haven't changed those. We haven't changed polling locations in Abingdon for a long time. Since the last census, they've stayed.
So it's 2 census?
It has been, wow. We had a problem, right now the current polling locations are City Hall, the police station, which is now the Sheriff's Annex Station, and the Township Building. So the voters would now be going to that other location. Before we moved to the police station, we were at the grade school. We were then asked, they asked us if we could find another location from the grade school. We moved to a business storefront by where Subway and the ice cream store is at. We did that for 2 election cycles and it was not successful. We had the last election, we had the doors, the building shifted. The main door to the room couldn't get open, so we had to go use a back door to get the voters in. So it was bad. So that's when we moved it to the police station. But there's been concerns, since we use City Hall, they shut their City Hall down for the day. So that we're not allowing their to do their city business. This will allow them to have their City Hall offices open again. There's been also concern, not in our communities, but in other communities, about using police stations for polling locations. We've never had a problem with it, but some of the more urban communities have had some concerns with that.
Intimidation.
So this kind of helps avoid some problems, maybe get ahead of the curve of some things too.
I understand, but you're saying that if it's been all that time, I don't understand why people be confused of where to go. But that was my question. So Indian Point, that's off?
Indian Point is, that's the southern part of the area. That's a separate township that butts into the part of Abingdon area. Right now, Indian Point Township votes at the high school, the junior high building in their equipment room.
Okay.
At some point in time, we may look at moving those across, but at this point, we do not want to move those additional polling locations across. We want to leave them where they're sitting at.
Thank you.
Member Boone?
I was really happy to see that on the agenda because it's got good parking. And when new people move in and out of the community, it is hard to understand what actual voting area you are for Cedar. And I think it's a wonderful idea and I 100% support it. And I'm an Abington area person, so.
I'm one of those constituents in Cedar and I voted at that township hall ever since I've started to vote. So I don't think it'll be a problem. I don't think it will be.
Any other questions?
Call the vote, please.
Alrighty, Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Carey,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson.
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, move on to item 13. I'll put this forward in motion. Approve bid and bring back for replacement security cameras for the courthouse, jail, and Mary Davis home. Alrighty, what this is, we've got a bid once before for the courthouse and the jail, but we're adding the Mary Davis home to it. So when we get this, we have all three are all in the same system. So the sheriff's department will be able to look at the Mary Davis home with its problems, and get notification what's going on as it's going on, whether in the past have not had that option. Captain May is here. We have any questions about that? He can explain it as they did at the sheriff did at the board meeting or at the committee meeting, but they want to be able to have access to look at so if something's going on, they can actually know about it. They'll actually be able to see it going on, know if they happen to, before they even get a phone call about it. So May, you got anything to add to that? Alrighty. So any questions or comments on that?
Thanks, Chief Deputy.
Call the vote then, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson.
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Alrighty, item 14, I'll put this forward in motion. Approve bid and bring back for replacement security system for the Mary Davis home. Alrighty, goes without saying, follows the last one. We are just trying to update our security system there. And again, the sheriff's department has, I won't say has trouble. They don't have easy access to get in there. This would prove them to have easier access to get in there when there's a situation that they don't need to be delayed. This will let them have immediate action without having to get permission from anybody inside the Mary Davis home, that they can just get in there and go. Because when something's happened to Mary Davis home, the people in there are having issues and they would have to take time out to let the sheriff's department in. This will eliminate that. So pretty straightforward on this one. Questions or comments? Call to vote then, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval.
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone, Weiss,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Alrighty, on item 15, I'll put this forward in motion. Approve resolution, debate levy for general obligation alternate general bonds, series 2010A and series 2010B for tax year 2024 American Build bonds and recovery zone bonds. Second, please.
Second.
Alrighty, I'll just say item 15, 16 are the same thing. It's, we do this every year. This keeps the taxpayers from paying the bonds and we pay them out of our revenues we already have. So it'll be the same for number 16 as well. Questions or comments on this? Call to vote then, please.
Alrighty, Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval.
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, item 16, I need to put this forward in motion. Approve resolution to abate levy for general obligation alternate revenue bond series twenty twenty-two for tax year twenty twenty-four. Second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Again, same as 15. Any questions or comments? Call to vote then, please.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson.
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
Hollinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, that concludes my report. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, sir. Moving on to item 17 is the presentation from the Public Service Committee. Member Theory.
We had no action items. We did have a vote and we identified who our vice chair would be, member Sandoval, and our secretary is member Jay Frederick. And we did have, of our 5 department heads, we had just 2 show up. And so one of the things that we did talk about was to request that department heads attend the meeting so that if we had any questions on bills, we could inquire about them. That is one of the things we also talked about. And then we had a couple of requests from board members with contracts with the Mary Davis Home and waste removal. We requested that be present next time. And then with the coroner, we had talked about specifically location, a housing location for her, as well as up and coming purchases. You can find all that information in the board packet. That's it. Any questions?
You have a question? Member Davidson?
I think you did a wonderful job, first time chairing, and yes, if these, department heads are expecting us to sign their bills, they need to come to the committee meetings and discuss it.
Any other questions for Member Theory? All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, next up, item number 18, presentation and action items from the Committee on Infrastructure. Member Bondi is traveling abroad. He's sent me a picture from Egypt today. In his stead is Member Cohen.
News from the committee, of course, as Chair Hawkinson said, Bob is living the high life. I am here for all of us here. Generally, thank you to all new and members when it came to how productive we were and how it came to adapting on the fly as some of you were experiencing it for the first time. As for what items we have, we'll just jump right into it. So item 19 is a motion to approve the invoice for the IEPA for quarterly tonnage fees of $37,756.06. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Just for everyone's information, all landfills are required to pay the Illinois EPA a quarterly fee based on the amount of waste disposed of during the prior 3 months. We will be seeing this again throughout the year. Any questions? Can I get a call for roll?
Sir, all righty. Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cohen, Hollinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Moving on to item 20, we have a motion to approve a bid and bring back for mowing and baling at the Stiegel landfill. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. A little bit of information on this one. I believe it's, correct me if I'm wrong, a 2-year contract? 3-year contract we have when it comes to mowing and baling the Stiegel landfill. The gentleman who we accepted the contract of last time, was very generous in what he offered, and He was more than willing to terminate the contract when it came to the years being up. So we are once again putting out for bid as he did not exercise his option to continue with the contract. So we will be getting bids soon, and information on this. I think pretty much they pay us to mow and bale it, right? Yeah, just for further information. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, call roll.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yeah.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Bollinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Moving on to, I'm on, right? Yep. Moving on to item 21, we have a motion to approve the continuation of service agreement with Foth Infrastructure for 2025. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. An agreement is to continue the relationship with Foth for the landfill's consulting, engineering, and design needs for the calendar year 2025. The total cost is $385,000 and $150, which is $27,100 less than last year. Any questions or discussion?
Just a note, Rod, correct me if I'm wrong, this comes out of which fund for professional services that he does have budgeted? Correct. And Foth has been our engineering firm out there for a long time.
Member Davidson?
I just want to comment about Foth. They're worth every penny they had. We pay them. They've been really great and loyal to us and helping us, and especially when Rod started and the landfill person before him. They've just been a great asset, and now they came in a little cheaper. I can't say enough good things about them.
Any more discussion or questions? Call roll.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Bollinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Moving on to item 22, motion to approve bid and bring back for a new deck at the Scale House. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Further information, Klinger inspected the deck at the Scale House at the landfill and determined that it needs to be replaced as soon as possible. We already have designs for the replacement deck, and Klinger will oversee the bidding process as well as the construction phase of the project. It'll be coming on the line item for building maintenance and materials. Are there any questions or discussions? Seeing none, your go, Scott.
All righty, thank you, sir. Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yeah.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Bollinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Next, motion to approve item 23, to approve the invoice for Klinger for survey work at the administrative building. Can I get a second?
Second.
So if I remember correctly, we are just double checking to everything checked out on your end, right, Chairman?
Yeah, the total invoice that's in the packets for $27,016.25. This has to do with the ALTA, the full survey. I sent an email to the treasurer's office last week. We're researching. We think that we paid 12 or 13,000 of that from the initial legal survey. And speaking with Mr. Basham from Klinger, that $27,016.25. If we paid that $12,000 or $13,000 from the legal survey, that is included in, so that should be less $12,000 or $13,000. But the full approval is $27,016.25. It's budgeted in the 50 East Main Street line items, but the final bill could be less than that once we get verification that we've already paid that. If we didn't pay that $12,000 or $13,000 legal survey, then we've got that approval for up to that 27,000.
Overall, yeah, what happened is it just came out a little bit more than we were expecting, but everything got okayed. So I guess any more questions or discussion? I will call vote.
All righty, Robertson,
Yes.
Hugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Yes.
Sandoval.
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Olinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's move on to item 24 is the report and action items from the Committee on Health and Human Services. Member Kramer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Monthly report is in the packet. Just a few things that are noteworthy. Currently, we have 114 residents at the nursing home as of the meeting time tonight. And last month's revenue exceeded our expenses. So Jody, you're doing a really good job out there. Appreciate it. The other thing I just want to add is thank you, Michelle, at the Health Department for providing the information to me that's taken over the chair of the committee. So I really appreciate that. And same thing as Sonia, getting all the information to me. So moving along, item 25, approve. I'll make this in the form of a motion to approve purchase of Marshall and Swift software. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. This software is just used with the assessor's office. It basically helps her do her job. So if anybody has any questions, Sonia's here. She could probably answer it a lot better than I can. The thing that I would like to note in the packet, it shows 5 years. We already use part of the software. So the only thing that we're approving tonight is the year 1 and the year 2, which those two together are $21,422.22. Any questions? Ms. Theory?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a note, this is through DevNet. As part of their DevNet, we already have a contract with DevNet for use of the Marshall and Swift residential costing software. I'm sorry, part of the program we have, we're just getting year 1 and 2 for the actual residential portion. That's correct. I stand corrected. But yeah, this is it's just year 1 and 2. We're not doing the 5-year. Correct.
Any comments?
Through DevNet.
Questions? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, take the roll.
All right, Robertson,
Yes.
Hugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Olinger,
Yes.
and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. That concludes my report. Thank you, Patty, for taking the meeting minutes. Appreciate that. So have nothing further. Thank you, Chairman.
All right, let's move on. The reports for the external committees are in the packet there. For the ones that have turned it in, if you have questions on those that are assigned, please see the assigned member for the respective organization. Item number 26.
We have budget changes, do we?
No, we do not.
I think we can skip.
Yeah. We can skip item 26 as we do not have any budget changes this month. 27, since we do not have an approval of 28. So 26, 27, and 28, we will not take a vote on as we do not have any action. Item number 29 is a presentation of the manual checks issued for the current cycle. Thought those were in there. Give me just a second here. Yes, it's on page 150 of your packet. Any questions on the manual checks? All right. Moving on to item 30. I'll take a motion to approve the claims by members for per diem and mileage for the committee meetings of January 2025. board meeting and organizational meeting in December, and other claims for per diem from meetings in the amount of $3,790.80. Take a motion, please. Got that, sir? All right. Are there any questions or comments on that, please? Once, twice, call the roll.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory.
Yeah.
Kramer,
Yes.
Sandoval.
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Bollinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, motion passes. I'll take a motion to approve the claims against Knox County, Illinois for the period of December 24, 2024 through January 29, 2025, ordering that invoices be accepted and approved, and that the county clerk and county treasurer be authorized and directed to issue county warrants in payment of the bills in the aggregate amount approved by the county board of $2,250,044.95. Take a motion, please. Motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, call roll.
Robertson,
Yes.
Pugh,
Yes.
Theory,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yeah.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Jay Frederick,
Yes.
Davidson,
Yes.
Hawkinson,
Yes.
Boone,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Bollinger, and B Frederick.
Yes.
13 ayes, Mr. Chair.
All right, motion passes. The next regular board meeting will be held Wednesday, February 26th, 2025 at 6 PM right here at the Galesburg City Hall Council Chambers. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Who is that? Member Theory, motion. Is there a second? Member Sandoval? Any discussion? All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay and stay here. All right, we are adjourned at 19:08, 7:08 PM.